Hello, LinkedIn. Richard on his fellowship. Still here is up North England now. I'm staying in a place called Nottingham, and I went to a program the other day, which was a gentleman with lived experience, justice system lived experience, doing talks to college kids. Now, a bit of this happens in Australia, and there's some very good speakers out there. This speaker was very good himself. His name is Tim Hague, and he talks about something called joint enterprise. And joint enterprise laws apply in Australia, but I'm not sure if they're the same in Australia. They're called joint criminal enterprise. And basically here, what it is if you, say you're out with your friends, you notice that there's going to be a fight across the road. You walk across the road and don't join into the fight. You just stand there and watch, and that person dies, then you can be done for murder. Now, there was 10 youth, so there was a fight. There was 10 youth recently who 8 were involved, 2 were just spectating. It was just supposed to be slaps and that. Someone pulls a knife, stabs him in the shoulder, and the kid died. And they all got, I think the smallest one was like 16 years minimum, and all the others were 30 years, including the 2 people that saw the commotion across the road, went over there and just watched. They didn't know the people. They just went over there and they just watched. Now they're doing massive sentence. Crazy stuff. I'm not sure what happens in Australia, but it happens here, and about 300 cases a year get done for that sort of thing. And, how many people at school have seen a fight, gone over and just watched? If that kid dies, everyone there can be done for joint enterprise. So it's a very important message. Now, he was particularly good at what he did. Now, he talks about something called regulate, relate, and then reason. So going through the 3 sort of layers of your brain. Now, I've heard something about this in a book I read called Pitch Anything by Oren Olaf, I think his name is. And he talks about something similar. The 3 layers of the brain. The first one's a crocodile brain, your amygdala, and then you go to your limbic system, which is your emotional side, and then your prefrontal cortex, which is your reason side. So it mirrors what he does, and there's a neuroscience behind it. And it was very effective. Like, I sat in a position where I could see the audience and I could see him. And I watched how engaged the kids were, and the youth were very engaged the whole time. Now, I went for an hour. It's an important message. Now, to the initial stage he gets there, to regulate them, he uses humour. Creates a joke, bit of light humour, just to get them regulated, as he says. The second bit, he relates to them, and he uses his lived experience story, and he uses some videos, some talking himself. He changes the medians up a bit to create a bit of difference. Now, his lived experience story is very powerful, and he was charged with joint enterprise when he was young. Then he moves on to reason. So with reason, he still works with the youth. He works with youth who have been caught for joint enterprise, like he prepares them for prison and stuff like that. So he's still very much in that scene. So he provides life scenarios that have happened and that are current, which was very powerful. So yes, his lived experience was very important. It was very good to sort of set the scene and to for them to relate. But then that still working with people who are facing that problem for the reason component was very powerful. And the kids were glued. And I don't know this for sure, but if he said that speech to enough of them, you would think that there would be a bit of a change. Like, there may be people who might go, there's a fight happening over there, I'm just going to walk away, because it was a very good message, and it was delivered really well. And schools is sort of like talking in schools is something that lived experience people can do, and it can be quite powerful. And I think that thinking about when you're delivering the message, doing that sort of humour, regulate, reason, share your lived experience, and then, regulate, relate, and then reason. Think about that, those steps. It's very, very important and could make your speech much more impactful. It was really good to meet him. Like, he wants to come out to Australia, and I hope to get him out. And yeah, that's an update. Still pushing out these videos. Thanks for listening.